plaintiff, Shondice Jones, says her daughter has 2 children with the defendant, but she has custody because her daughter has mental issues and is addicted to drugs. Recently, the defendant expressed doubts about being the father of their youngest daughter, so Shondice petitioned the court for a paternity test. Defendant Antonio Robinson says when he and his ex fought, she would say he wasn't their youngest child's father, but he never paid attention to it because he just thought she was trying to hurt him. However, he now wants to know the truth, so he agreed to take the test today.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
I'm going to start with you, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor, I known Antonio since he was a little boy with a snotty nose. He, over 10 years ago, he was dating my daughter, and which gave me 2 beautiful girls. They're 9 and 8. At the time, during the time, my daughter, oh gosh, again, using drugs, mental health issues.
What type?
Molly, cocaine.
No, what type of mental health?
Mental health, she's diagnosed with schizophrenic, bipolar.
Before or after her addiction?
The bipolar was before addiction. The schizophrenic has been since the addiction.
Was she being treated before?
Yeah, yes.
For
yes,
bipolar?
Bipolar,
She
yes.
was medicated?
Yes.
And yet
she
began
using Molly.
Using Molly.
Yes, after
and Molly is a feel-good drug.
Yes. But anyways, you know, I have custody of my 2 granddaughters.
How bad did it get? Tell me how bad things got with the Molly. Or is the custody a result of the schizophrenia?
No, the custody was with the Molly.
Tell me the symptoms of being addicted to Molly, because I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
I don't know the symptoms of that.
But her stripping and
No, I'm saying the actual high. Do you know anything?
No, I do
Whether
not.
you get addicted after 6 months. You know anything about Molly?
Yeah.
What's the
It basically like
syndrome, huh?
It basically keeps you up all night.
Right, okay.
You know, and it messes up your mental, you know. It's really bad, though.
If you use it consistently, you do get addicted, and if there's a withdrawal. Addiction typically means withdrawal, or you're obsessed with something. Like crack doesn't give you withdrawal, but your mental, it alters you mentally, and you're obsessed, and nothing else is important but that. Molly does that to you? Like nothing else is as important as Molly?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
It's just like it's like a form of an e-pill. But it's a powder, you know?
Molly is a powder?
Yeah.
I thought it was like
it's like a powdery, yeah.
You know, it's powder you sprinkle in your drinks. They can sprinkle in their drink.
People put it in water.
And
liquor.
And you get addicted. And the withdrawal, are there some withdrawal symptoms you might know of?
But you don't.
Yeah, it is. I think it is.
No, I'm saying withdrawal where it hurts.
Oh,
That's
no.
I don't know.
No,
really
not
know.
that type of withdrawal.
No, it's not.
Okay. No. Like alcohol withdrawal is very painful, and heroin withdrawal, very painful, life-threatening, and you don't hear that about Molly. So, okay, so Molly, she was addicted to, and so you took the children.
Yes, after she was leaving them with different people, you know, I got them. It came a point to where I got custody of them. Antonio is in their lives, in and out, just like she was at a certain time. Besides his mother, has been a big help. It's grandma's, basically. It's grandma's raising them.
Grandmother's raising.
Yes. I really found out by Antonio and his mom that my youngest granddaughter may not be his, or is not his. That's what was told.
Who told you that?
Antonio and his mother.
Oh, he told you. Let me hear from you, sir.
Well, when we met and stuff, she used to always like blow it in my face saying that she wasn't mine, but I never really paid attention to it. I thought she was just mad because we broke up and stuff. And we did have like a hard breakup, so she used to always like blow it in my face, but I used to always just brush it off.
People do
know?
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to brush it off. I never really paid attention to it until I started seeing her going over to the other man's house. And then that's when I started.
How old was the child then when you saw?
When I saw her, she was probably like 6 or 7.
6 years old?
Yeah.
So from 1 to 6, you had no question in your mind.
No, I didn't.
After 6, when you saw the mother of your child going to see another man, how did that throw it in? Why couldn't it be that she's just dating a new person? How did it become the child might be?
Because I guess I was in jail at one point, but not for that long. And then when I came home, I guess she told me they had sex and stuff like that. You know, but she said they used
around
a condom.
The same time.
Yeah, around the same.
Having sex with you.
Yeah.
All
but she
right.
tried to say she used a condom. Yeah.
Okay.
She tried to say they used a condom and stuff, and I ain't never really paid attention to it. But when she got mad, she knew how to get under my skin. So she always said, "Oh, that's not your daughter. That's not your daughter."
When was the last time she said that to you?
This is like a few years ago, because we don't really talk like that, you know.
She said you've been a part of the children's life. Any comments on it?
Well, I've been in and out. It's because I'm trying to get myself together, like financially, and I'm trying to get my own house. Because I'm like currently living with somebody, so it's kind of hard to really take care of them, like with other people around me.
How about visiting with them? Do you
I go
spend
to
time?
my mom has a good support system, so when she has them, I goes over there and it help a lot, you know.
All right.
I was in jail at one point, but not for that long. And then when I came home, I guess she told me they had sex and stuff like that. You know, but she said they used
Around
a condom.
the same time.
Yeah, around the same.
Having sex with you.
Yeah, I ain't never really paid attention to it, but when she got mad, she knew how to get under my skin. So she always said, "Oh, that's not your daughter. That's not your daughter."
Plaintiff Shondice Jones says her daughter has 2 children with the defendant, but recently he expressed doubts about being the father of their youngest child. So Shondice petitioned the court for a paternity test.
The suspicion, and is it based on what he said?
Somewhat.
Okay, what is your understanding?
This was some years ago, like when they were babies, I guess it was told. I did question my daughter about it, and she did tell me it's supposed to be somebody else. I did let my granddaughter go over to the other family house several times, but deep in my heart, I believe it's Antonio's. Because they, from day one with the first one, when she had the first baby, he was like, "We're gonna make another one." I was like, "Gee, she just had this one." I mean, you're not even giving her something to come out the hospital. So then the second baby was born, it was like, you know, they're a year and 7 days apart. So that's where I feel deep in my heart that Antonio is a nice
Was
father.
she using Molly then?
Yes, because she
Second
couldn't.
child?
Second child, not at the time of, you know, having her, but
Before having the child?
not before that I know of. But I know those two was like stuck together.
Yeah. She wasn't doing no drugs when she was with me though.
Okay.
Like I actually made sure that she wasn't doing nothing. She was actually good, you know.
Okay. And you believe in your heart that the child is his?
Yes.
And you're not sure, or you don't believe?
Well, I never really questioned it, you know what I'm saying? Like, in my head, she mine, you know?
Okay. Because you've only been told that 2 years ago. 'Cause
Yeah.
the child was 6 and everything was fine.
Yeah.
So you find out differently from her talking crazy. And that's exactly what she's doing, talking crazy.
Yeah.
Because you're the father. All right.
Oh. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God. I'm happy, man. It's a relief. Now I'm gonna just step my father stills up now, all the way.
I am so relieved. I am so relieved. It's just
you,
been
man.
answered. It's been answered. Thank you so much. Ooh, thank you. God.
Thank you.
Plaintiff Aries Apollo Figueres served in the U.S. Navy, but at the age of 50, he went back to school for film. Aries claims the defendant is his best friend, and he agreed to shoot a music video for the defendant's son. However, he's suing because the defendant's son stole his jewelry from the set. Defendant David Hill says he got into music at a young age, and he's worked with numerous artists, including Missy Elliott and Jay-Z. David insists his son had nothing to do with Aries' missing jewelry, and therefore he doesn't know.
Start with you.
Well, it all started for me in the United States Navy. I was in the Navy for 6 years. I did 3x3x.
What years?
In 90. So I was leaving the United States Navy out of the NATO war, which is the beginning of Desert Storm, which we were sent home with a ticket and my last paycheck. So when we come home, we don't have anything. That's how it usually is. So I ended up in a shelter for a year and a half. For that year and a half, I decided to go into the police department. And when I went into the police department, my ex-wife put an order of protection out on me and she got me terminated. So I stayed in the shelter for another year, and during the time that I was in the shelter, I decided to go back to computer technology school, which I ended up becoming a technician for video film systems, and I was fixing their cameras, which I started
Fixing their
getting.
what?
Their cameras, their big movie cameras and things like that.
Where'd you learn that?
Porter and Chester is a school that I went to.
Okay, how long was the program?
The program was a 2-year program.
And you got hired?
I got hired.
Did the school place you, or you looked on your own?
No, I was in school at the time I got hired.
Okay.
So I actually was moving up at the time that I was in
Good.
school. So
And I ask you
better.
that because I want other young people to know how they can proceed out of a homeless shelter.
Absolutely.
Get that 8-month, 1 year, 2 year, 4 year, whatever type of post-high school education skill you can get, you better get it. And he got the right one that took him right into the workplace before he even graduated, and he was homeless when he started. So, glad to hear you say that. Whatever type of post-high school education skill you can get, you better get it. And he got the right one that took him right into the workplace before he even graduated, and he was homeless when he started. So,
Plaintiff Aries Apollo Figueres says the defendant is his friend, but he's suing because he shot a music video for the defendant's son, and his son ended up stealing his jewelry from the set.
and so how did things go?
So during the time that I actually went to school, I started having problems, and they terminated me from the police department. So I thought everything was over again. So I said, no, let me just hold my head up. Let's move forward with life. So I kept on going forward. I brushed everything behind me because there's nothing behind me that I want to look forward to. So I ended up
Like that.
going back to
Nothing
school.
behind me I want to look forward to.
I ended up going back to school at 50 years old to New York Film Academy. I went there for 1 year and I graduated. When I graduated, my friend David Hill, that I knew for a long time, I started the music industry, and I started my own record label with him, Slaughterhouse Records.
What
which
year?
This was back in the year 95. That didn't go too well because the artists we had were
90% of records don't go well.
when we lost.
I'm sure you know that,
We
being
lost a
in the
lot of money.
business. Am I right or wrong? Because I did a little entertainment law for a minute between working for the mayor and running and becoming judge. I was an entertainment lawyer. Well, record companies, I think they release, but if you include independent artists and people just in the basement, they release about 2,000 per week. But you hear the same 40 records
All the time.
for 3 months straight.
That's right.
Top 40. So that's how many you got that are successful. So you're just like 95% of everyone else that releases a record. So I say that to say, keep your head up on that too. So after 95, you head your record label, and what happened?
So 5 years ago, I decided to go to New York Film Academy. I became a film director. I graduated from there at a 4.03 because I went into school to learn. People go to school to do other things, but I went in there to learn. So my friend David told me he would like me to do a video for him for his son. So he's been knowing me for 30 years. So I said, no problem. Just take care of my room and board, my food, and make sure my car gets parked and I'm safe. So I did the whole video in
How
November.
much?
It was free. It was a free video. This is my best friend, so I'm giving you out of me to you. That's your kid, so this is my heart to your heart.
Okay.
And I explained that to him. So I told him, just make sure I'm covered. All my stuff is gonna be in the hotel room, and I have almost $70,000 in film equipment, $40,000 in jewelry. So I let his son use my
Where
jewelry
did you bring that?
because it's a music video.
Oh, got it.
So I wanted to impress.
Got it.
So I let him wear my jewelry,
Got it.
and his partner that he brought with him
Got it.
ended up going into my room taking my jewelry.
All right, let me get a little background from him
Okay.
before we get into the specifics.
I got into the music at an early age when my uncle and them used to do doo-wop. Earl was in the channels. I used to see them in the living room doing the steps, 1, 2, 3, turning around. I'm like a little kid. And then from that, growing up, a passion of love for music.
I don't understand. The 1, 2, 3, all those moves.
Oh, it's doo-wop
Where
days?
where
Yeah, you remember
learn
the
that
doo-wop
from?
days when they had the steps and all of the steps, and you don't remember that?
No, I remember the Temptations doing it for Motown. I remember that. All that what you talking about. What city you at?
Earl Lou was in
No,
the
sir.
channels.
Come to Detroit where we were doing it. The Temptations, the Four Tops. That's who was doing it. Yeah. Yeah.
I was in the living room as a little one watching it live. Yes.
Go ahead. So you grew up under that? in your
Yeah, that
house?
gave me the passion for music. And, from there, I just started production. I just wound up doing music for Wu-Tang, Busta, stuff
Okay.
like that.
SZA.
Yes, I was up there doing music for everybody.
Give me some other folks you worked with.
Missy Elliott.
Okay.
I was at Marley Marl House.
All the
I
New
came
York
across
crowd.
Nas a couple of times, Jay-Z a couple of times.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It can go
You
on
heard
down.
their new record?
Excuse me?
You heard their new record?
Yes, I have. I love it. And that's
Sorry, Not Sorry?
Yes, I have.
Nas and Jay-Z
Wow, oh
coming
my.
back together after having
You
that
love the meaning?
split?
You love the meaning of it? You understand it?
Nope, tell me.
Huh?
I didn't like what I thought I know. You tell me.
Well, it's
I
just
thought it meant, I'm sorry for crossing you, my brother,
No,
that we
it's a
fell
str-
out, but I'm not sorry. That's what throwing me off. You tell me, please. I've been wanting to know.
so to me, it's the struggle.
To you, I want to know what the facts are.
It's a struggle. It's how rap came and what we went through and everything. And
What are they sorry about?
for
Jay-Z and Nas.
making it and not like getting it taken away
Nas,
from
I
them.
hope you give me some free concert tickets.
So he's been knowing me for 30 years. So I said, no problem. Just take care of my room and board, my food, and make sure my car gets parked and I'm safe. So I did the whole video in
How
November.
much?
It was free. It was a free video. This is my best friend, so I'm giving you out of me to you.
Plaintiff Aries Apollo Figueres says the defendant is his friend, but he's suing because he shot a music video for the defendant's son, and his son ended up stealing his jewelry from the set.
Those are all great New York rap artists, and they started doing the fun rap and ended up doing smooth rap, and then came gangster rap from the West Coast, and they ruined the country. But no, the gangster rap with Death Row came a little harder.
Yeah,
And it's been there ever since. Unfortunately, we need a little more positive stuff. So how did your career go beyond that?
Well, in those times I was DJing, doing producing, house producing, and we came across each other through a company we formed, making beats for, kids out there. And we had a group. And like he said, it didn't do too good. It didn't do too bad, but we learned from that. And that's how we, got bonded.
Okay.
And then from then on, I kept in contact with him. And my son also grew the passion, and I took over his project. And from there, I asked him, can he film a project that on my son? He agreed. He said yes, because when things come up, you look for the back end. You don't get no money in the front end. You get money in the back end.
I don't know about that. You better get all your money on the front end. No, you're in the wrong business. How much you gonna wait on the back end, Doc? You never see that with the Hollywood and the New York accountant. No, the record business accountant. What was the agreement? You were giving your services.
I was giving my services, and I explained to him and his son, I have all this equipment. Are you guys covering me? Anything happens, I got you. And this street word is very bondly. So we go by street word,
Yeah, because the penalty is death.
basically.
No, people ask me why I'm so loyal in politics, because all I know from where I come from, the penalty of disloyalty was death. Wow. Go ahead.
Okay.
So you got your street word.
So I accepted it as that. And what happened is when I got home, I did the video in November. When I got home, 2 months went by. And I told my friend, yo, I got this new bracelet, man. I got to show it to you. It's real nice, man. I got to show it to you. I went to my room, and I pulled out my jewelry. The jewelry got taken from me. I told Dave. I called Dave as soon as I saw him missing. I said, yo, Dave, my jewelry's gone. He was like, yo, what do you mean? Nah, man, that can't be. That can't be. So let's figure this out. Who took it? So I explained to him, the guy who had the key to my room is the only person who had access. So that's the person who took it. So I explained to him, I said, that's your boy, that's your son, I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
So he told me in a text, I have it here if you want to see it. You know, my brother, I know that I made a mistake.
Before we get to that, let me hear his defense,
Okay.
and then I'll compare what he says to the evidence. Sir, tell me what happened here.
Well, yes. 2 months went by. He called me. He said some of his jewelry was gone. I was like, what? You know, like, okay. So then I called my buddy. I asked him. I didn't take it. I don't know nothing happened from it. Called my son. Same thing. I don't know what happened. You know, boom, boom, I'll backtrack. And the same thing goes to me. I don't know what happened to it. I didn't take it. I wasn't there in the hotel. I barely came through the site. I came
Talk to your son about it, and he said no.
And he also gave me a statement, his own video statement of his own that he didn't do it, you know.
Let's see it. We have the
Yes.
video, I assume. Let's see.
Hey everyone, my name is King Hill. I'm the artist in question. I helped Apollo direct the music video for my song Stay the Night. And during the 2-day set, we had a really great time. But unfortunately afterwards, about 3 to 4 weeks later, he informed me that he couldn't find any of the jewelry that he had lent me during the scenes. And because it was so late afterwards, I couldn't really help him find anything. I gave him as much information as I could regarding like dates and like locations, phone numbers, names, but it wasn't enough to track anything down. I mean, after like 2-3 months of us going back and forth, we kind of lost communication because things were not coming up. Like I was asking him if he was still working on the video, and he asked me if I had any new information, and things between us got a little sore. So I wish him the best, and I hope he ends up finishing the video.
Plaintiff Aries Apollo Figueres says the defendant is his friend, but he's suing because he shot a music video for the defendant's son, and his son ended up stealing his jewelry from the set.
One thing I heard, sir, you gotta give me a little bit on. You gotta give me a little explanation on as to why you called him 3 or 4 weeks later. How did you just call?
I put the jewelry away for the shoot already. I packed up all my equipment, put it in the car, and left. Before I left the hotel, I looked to see if my jewelry was my bag was there, but it was. So I didn't check inside because I'm trusting that this is heavy, everything's in there. I saw the bag, not the jewelry. All I looked to see if my bag was there. So I'm figuring my bag is there, my jewelry's there. The person individually picked my ring, my earrings, and my bracelet. This was in there, and so was my watch. So he individually took what he wanted. He already picked it out. Whatever he was going for, it was already on his mind because it was gone. When I called Dave, I told him, because we're best friends. We was best friends a long time. This became an issue, and I told him, I don't want to lose your friendship over this. We need to settle this.
What page is his statement on?
That is on page 2. Oh, I'm sorry. It's on page 2, right. That is correct.
We're talking to the girl's mom now because they saw it. What does that mean?
That they saw the jewelry is what he told me. That they saw the jewelry.
After it had been taken?
that they saw it, my jewelry missing afterwards.
Stop
Yes.
calling. This is
Not true.
crazy. My girl said she would help me pay for it if it comes to that, but I'm mad as hell. I swear I got this. And that means you got him. That means you're going to cover it for him. But just getting to the answer to the issue, all right? You said you was going to cover it, but who had access to that room? Who had the only access?
Him and my son. That's it. That's it. And my son proving to himself that he didn't take
Proven
it.
to himself.
Well, to him also.
Oh, his son proved that he didn't take it to
Yes.
you?
No, his son explained to me that he gave his partner that he brought with him the key after I told him
That
not
was
to.
negligence right there. Yeah, that was a negligence. And he didn't ask for your
No, I
approval to
don't
give the
want
key.
anybody to have
No,
my
he's
key.
responsible. And you said you would pay for it. So I'm going to grant you $5,000 based on you agreeing to pay for the negligence committed by your son. It was certainly negligence, not going to call your son a thief, but it was negligence for him to give that key to someone else without the resident's permission. And the result was that the resident suffered a loss. All right, good luck to you guys. Have a good day.
Dave, I don't have any hard feelings. You're always going to be my boy. We've been working together forever. And I'm never going to shut a revolving door for myself ever. So I leave revolving doors for you and me, and we're going to go and keep on going forward with things. I'm going to complete the video because I want to show your son that I'm a man of my word.
Same, I knew him for over 30 years, and I never had no hardship. I just wanted this to come to an end and to prove that none of this was, my fault or was intentionally, I just wanted you to do a video, and that's it.
Plaintiff Robert Jones says dating the defendant has been the biggest headache of his life. Robert claims during their 8-year tumultuous relationship, they broke up a few times every year. He's suing her today for the balance due on a loan. Defendant Dejana Maldonado says Robert is a chronic liar and a cheater, and she not only saw texts between Robert and other women, but she also caught him with another woman at his house. Dejana claims while fighting with Robert over another woman, he spit in her face, and she denies owing Robert for anything.
Start with you.
Your Honor, ever since I met this woman, she's been the biggest headache I've ever had in my entire life. We've had like peaks and valleys during our 8-year tumultuous relationship, and
When did you start dating?
we started dating back in 2007. We met in 2006, and took a year for me to actually pursue her.
And get to know her?
on a
Okay.
serious note.
You still can't get right.
Let it finish there. Don't give me a headache.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Plaintiff Robert Jones is suing his ex-girlfriend, who claims Robert cheated on her several times. And once, while fighting over another woman, Robert spit in her face.
Go ahead.
Like I say, peaks and valleys, and largely in part due to her habitual lying.
When did you all break up?
Which time? I mean, it's been like 7,
The final time.
8. The final time, last month.
How often would you break up?
Every year, a few times.
How long would you stay broken up?
And why?
Months.
And why? I'm with her now.
The line step, sir. She
What's that?
Crossing the line verbally.
Your Honor, that
Because
sounds
she catch you
absurd.
cheating.
That's right, Your Honor.
Sir?
That's right.
She has caught me
Every time, Your
I know
Honor.
she has.
Every
She has.
time.
Then you don't want her to say nothing.
Your Honor, we share almost 7-year-old child. Ever since I met this man, chronic cheating, lying.
I can tell it. You see, I can tell it
Your
time and
Honor.
time to talk.
And, Your Honor, he's
trying
from
to
Detroit.
sweet talk
Your Honor.
me.
Your
Trying to
Honor.
sweet talk me.
I don't need to sweet talk you, sir.
He talk real nice. I can see what he's saying to these
a
women.
professional.
Sharp, nice,
That's right, Your
classy,
Honor. That's right.
well
It ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out.
That's right.
That's right. He's fresh to
It
death,
does the
all right, Your
job.
Honor. He's fresh to
It
death,
does
all
the
right.
job.
He wants to be with me. He wants to be monogamous. He wants to be committed. He wants to be a family. But no sooner than the following day or the night of, he's got texts from other women. He's encouraging, entertaining. I mean, about 2010, I'm getting off work, blowing his phone up. He didn't answer. I go to his house. I'm blowing up his doorbell. He comes down. something seemed a little fishy. So he lets me upstairs, and what do I see? An ugly female in his t-shirt that I probably bought alongside of his bed. Her and I exchanged some words. Him and I exchanged some words. I left. About a year after that, we ended up arguing again, always over another female, Your Honor, always. He spit in my face, the ultimate disrespect, okay? I poured some juice on him. We were in the car.
Spit on me, sir.
I poured juice on him, Your Honor. He stuck his hand in my window. I rolled up the window and proceeded to pull off.
That is not true.
It was definitely going to be roadkill on the way to the police station, Your Honor, until he punched out my window, where my daughter was in the back seat.
Not true.
There has been multiple, I can't even count the times that it's been just women. Anybody with he's interested in, Your Honor. Excuse me.
All the women who might be looking today, they know about it now.
Your Honor, he
let's be
admitted to me
reasonable.
that he
Can I
stopped
talk, please?
counting over after sleeping with over 60 women. So I had no idea. I would have never given him the time of day,
And
Your
I
Honor.
did stop after 60.
That's a lie.
Keep us.
Because I wasn't the 60th.
He said I did stop after 60.
a lie.
Is that what you just said?
I stopped counting.
He said I did stop after
She wants
60.
to
Now that's a
throw it.
shame,
That's
sir.
true.
Let me just tell you, I'm having fun with this, but this is not a laughing matter, sir, because what you're doing is ruining your life, you're ruining her life, and you're ruining the child's life. So let's get to the loan. How does she owe you for that?
In April of 2014, after I moved out, she comes with me with this sob story on how she's got this disconnection notice from DTE Energy for $1,758. And I knew that if your mom and your dad wasn't giving it to you, then it's a reason for that.
You had a 6-year-old over there, sir.
Exactly, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well,
So-
that's
And don't
why
pay child
that was the
support.
main.
Yes, there we go.
Because
Your
of
Honor,
everything I do with my child.
I have never
for
put
my
him on child support, Your Honor. I could be, if I'm vindictive and I'm this crazy, outraged woman.
You're in trouble. Now I got to turn on
Your
you.
Honor, when he wants to come around and be a family, oh yeah, things are being paid in the house. Things, we're going half on our child's
always getting
expenses.
paid
We're doing
for
this, we're
in the
doing
house.
that. The moment that he ends up getting booted out for being caught texting or being sexual with other women is the moment he says he doesn't want to pay, Your Honor.
You can go file a claim for back child support for however much you like, because if it hadn't gone through the court, it hasn't been paid.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what's going to happen, and I want these young men who think that they're getting away with something by paying a woman in cash and don't put me on the government, don't put me on child support. That's what you should want, because they can come in there 10 years later.
Yeah,
Judge, you gave me nothing.
that's right.
You owed, let me see, how much have you been making in 10 years? You owe $40,000. You don't have it? Okay, we're going to garnish your check. Where you work? Okay, we're going to put a lien against your property. What you own? Oh, okay, you don't have any of it? You can't do that? I'm going to lock you up.
Right.
Yep.
I'm just telling you what could happen when you don't go and pay your child support through the court system. She gonna get mad and say, you done got all these women. I'm going down there now.
And I've given him ample opportunity, Your Honor. I could have been.
We've
Going
been
down there. Oh, you have an order?
We've been there. No.
You have an order?
She canceled the
Nope.
order, sir.
See there?
It had
Honor,
nothing to do
Your
with
Honor.
I can't help you if you're canceling your order.
And why would she do that?
I just gave you advice.
Why did I do it?
Why would you do that?
I just gave you your advice. That's friendly
I filed.
advice. All right, that's what
I filed through Macomb County. I sure did.
All right.
Plaintiff Robert Jones is suing his ex-girlfriend, who claims Robert cheated on her several times. And once, while fighting over another woman, Robert spit in her face.
Sir, you take it up with the judge.
Okay.
Not this judge. You take it up with that judge. Ma'am, do you owe him $14.58 or not?
Your
This
Honor,
is different.
no, I do not owe him $14.58. The bill in question was approximately $3,400. It was extremely high because I did not have a furnace. The plaintiff did not offer at the time, nor give any advice about contributing to a furnace.
That's a
So
lie.
yes, my bill hiked up to about $3,400. We usually go half on everything pertaining to my child. Anything as far as household bills, even when he was living there, it was always a problem trying to get money from him. If I asked him, I felt like I was on eggshells in my own home asking him for anything, and it's like, oh, well, I got this
But you
now,
said
or
you
I
got
got
half
this
on
now.
everything,
I'm
right?
talking. I got this now. I got,
Well, you
I'll
have-
give you this.
Sir, you better be trying to be nice to her.
Sir.
You don't get
Because
it,
you
Your
see,
Honor.
she's mad. She can go down there to that child
You don't
support
get it,
court
Your Honor.
and tell them what she wants. Now, you better be nice and hope that she tells that judge, yeah, he has paid half and half for many years or for most months. Or she can go down there. I just told you what she can go down there and say. I ain't got nothing.
Yep. I paid
So
half of
I
the
would
bill.
advise you to try to tighten up. Go
I
ahead.
paid half of the bill, Your Honor.
On
He
that
paid the
end,
other
it's
half.
all tight.
Okay. You have the bill or any evidence
I
here?
have my credit card statement with saying that I paid DTE Energy $1,758.
Which was half of
She
the
said that's half of
$3,400,
your
Your Honor.
obligation.
We
She
paid
said
half of everything.
you agreed to do that based on the responsibility that you shared with her.
No, I agreed to do that as long as I was getting my money back, which is why I made her sign a promissory note, which was her
let's see it.
idea.
Ma'am, did you do this?
Your Honor, the only reason, yes, I signed a promissory note, and the only reason was because I was under duress. He was threatening not to pay. He was threatening not to pay, Your Honor. We share a child.
Not to pay
We don't
what?
not to pay the half of the DTE bill of 17 and some change. Like I said, I have never badgered him or gone tick for tack on what we share for our child, any of that.
All right, ma'am, he has an agreement. And I'm going to tell you this, sir. You can do what you want. But if I were you, I would say, well, Judge, she's been all right by me. Me and her can work everything out. We can take care of our child together. And so I'd like to drop it, Judge. Because otherwise...
It's going down. It's going down.
Clap about that all we
Going
like.
down.
But
For him to even be suing me about a bill that we share, Your Honor.
This is about business.
This is about our child.
That's right.
And this is
And
about
it's going to be
everything.
about business when she asks for 6 years back support
That's right.
and you're unable to
That's
present
right.
one receipt.
That's right.
You got your judgment. Judgment for the plaintiff. You got your money. Good luck.
Now,
No problem.
you got it now?
I got it. Hey, look, I have no problem with this woman. This was strictly about the bill that she promised to pay me back, which she wasn't even gonna have to pay back, but I'm not gonna tell her that, you know. I still got love for this woman, and she knows exactly what it is, but this was about business and something that she was supposed to do. I'm gonna go back home with everything intact. I'm not
glad
really
it's over
about
and done with. We'll be back in court for child support, and I'll get that back and some.
That's fine.
We recently spoke with plaintiff Robert Jones, who told us that after their case, defendant Dejana Maldonado moved to California with their child, and Robert was not happy about it. Robert said that he tries to see his daughter every chance he gets, but it's been difficult. Robert plans to file for custody because not only does he want his daughter back in Michigan with him, but he claims that's what the child wants as well. We tried to get in contact with Dejana, but we could not reach her. So if you're watching, please reach out to us.